favorite recipes is espresso barbecue sauce on baby back ribs. That's from my original cookbook, Dadgum That's Good. Well, we're kicking it up a notch. Dry rub recipe and combined it with my espresso barbecue sauce and made some amazing ribs. So thank you, Kick. So we're gonna get started by making sure that you have your ribs prepared, completely wash your baby back ribs, and always remember to take off that membrane off the back. What that does is give you a more tender rib and allows those ingredients to get into that meat for all the flavor. So now we're gonna combine all of our dry ingredients. We've got salt, we've got celery salt, we've got garlic powder, oregano, cumin, cinnamon. We're gonna combine some chili pepper, not chili powder, and some cocoa and cayenne pepper. You're gonna blend all of that together. That's 9 ingredients to make a really good dry rub. So now remember, we've got the membrane off and we've got our ribs. You wanna completely coat both sides of your ribs. And this is gonna create a bark on your rib. You wanna make sure you cover both sides. And we are gonna put the meat side up on the smoker. It smells good. And I'm telling you, this recipe we were really pleased with because you have a nice combination of a lot of different flavors that come out in that dry rub recipe. Now what we're gonna do is transfer these to our rack. We're gonna head outside to the smoker and put these on and come back in and start on the espresso barbecue sauce. So we're ready to put the ribs onto the smoker. And if you'll notice, we're using Masterbuilt's ThermoTemp XL smoker, which is great because for this recipe, we're gonna set it to 225 degrees, and this smoker will maintain perfect temperature for the entire 3 hours without having to adjust at all while we're inside making the barbecue sauce. We've got apple wood chips in the smoker, which gives us a great flavor for pork. And we've also got apple cider vinegar in the water bowl, which gives us moisture and flavor inside the smoker. Let's go make some barbecue sauce. So now that our ribs are on, it's time to make the espresso barbecue sauce. Real simple recipe. We've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil that's on a low heat, and we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You wanna let that just start to brown a little bit, turn that to a low heat. And while that is simmering, love the smell of that garlic. Give that just about 20 or 30 seconds. And we're gonna add in all the other ingredients, starting with some ketchup. Blend that in. And you wanna basically get this to a good warm temperature and then let it simmer down to be on low. We're gonna add in the honey, ketchup, honey, and now we've got balsamic vinegar, soy sauce. And here's the secret ingredient. We're gonna take a double shot of Starbucks espresso coffee and blend that in. So typically when I make this recipe, I like it so much, I'll do a double batch, one for the rib recipe and the other I'll toss in the fridge. So we brought our ribs in from the smoker, and here's what we're gonna do. We've got our sauce that's been simmering now for about 20 minutes on low. We're gonna take the first slab that's got Kick's dry rub recipe on there, and we're gonna cut this slab in half. Transfer that to a 9x13 tray, and we're gonna take the second slab of ribs and cut those up into individual ribs. And then we've got 2 other slabs of ribs on there that have the dry seasoning on there. And basically that allows you to serve this recipe up with dry only and with wet and dry combined. Now, we take the ribs with the barbecue sauce that we've got ready, and here's where the fun begins. You're gonna completely coat those ribs with that barbecue sauce. Looks so good. All right, so we've got our 2 half slabs done, and now we're gonna sauce the ones that are individually cut, and you wanna completely cover all of those ribs. And again, the reason I use a 9x13 aluminum tray, easy cleanup, just discard the aluminum tray, but you're gonna see that barbecue sauce is gonna get hot in the bottom of this pan. Each individual rib has that barbecue sauce caramelizing and baking to those ribs. So we've got our ribs, the half slab and the cut up ribs completely covered in our espresso barbecue sauce. And again, the reason I use the 9x13 aluminum trays is for easy cleanup, and when your company comes over, this makes serving a breeze. You can spend time, family and friends, recipe's ready to eat. So we're gonna put the ribs back into the smoker for 1 more hour. We've got the sauced ribs going back in, and we've also got the dry ribs that are gonna also cook for 1 more hour. This recipe is a total of 4 hours. Now here's something that's very important. The ribs that we've got in the pan with the barbecue sauce on are gonna be very forgiving. They'll come out juicy while we're baking that barbecue sauce to them the last hour. The dry ribs, if you've got a thinner rib, you may wanna pull them off a little early so that you don't overcook them. So let's give these ribs about another hour. So thanks to my buddy Kix for his dry rub recipe for my ribs mixed with my espresso barbecue sauce. This is made for a dadgum good rib recipe. Hope you enjoy.